Morning, folks. I was at the grocery store today, and I found another little, even cheaper than my last one, little rescue orchid. And, I don't know, everything's all doom and gloom lately. But, sometimes small things can make a big difference. And it feels very positive to take a living thing and hopefully save it. I mean, the top is definitely not getting enough water. You see how flexible these leaves are? Orchid leaves that are healthy, here's one, are pretty stiff. You can't just roll them around like that. They're pretty thick and, but when they get dehydrated, they get floppy. So definitely not getting enough water. It's in pretty good medium. I'm actually going to reuse some of this, because I don't have any large orchid bark, and I've decided I hate the fine orchid bark I have, so I need to buy more orchid bark. Anyways, it looks like it's got some good live roots, too. So this should be a pretty easy rescue. And while I clear this medium out, shouldn't take too long, while I get this little girl, who I'm naming Terpsichore, because that's the last of the classic 9 muses I haven't named an orchid after yet, while I get her ready to go, I want to ramble to you a little bit about something. I forgot to soak her. I'm very with it. She probably needs to soak for about 10 minutes. I'm not going to just ramble for 10 minutes while she soaks. Oh, let me tell you, it is the kind of day when I am not remotely with it. So this video is going to be interesting. Join me in 10 minutes my time and, about 2 seconds your time. Burb. And we're back with a soggy plant. So, let's pull her out and get going. Oh, fudge. The roots are through at the bottom. Ah, that's dead. Let's just clip that off. Off you go. Alright. Come on. Boy, when I said she had a good root system. It's a good root system that's hanging on there. I'm almost tempted to leave her in this pot, except I want to see what's going on. It's not terrible. It's got a decent bottom, but it has no aeration on the sides, which is ideal for orchids. It's why fancy orchid pots have all those little cutouts that are artsy and the really good ones. What is hanging on in there? Something's got a grip. Come on. Come on. Anyway, I'm gonna ramble a little while I try to finesse this out of here. Had something happen today. I haven't talked about this much on the channel. I am transmasculine, which is feels great right now. Let me tell you, state of the world. And I live in an area where overall my state is not, passing harmful laws, and things could be very worse. Very worse. Things could be a lot worse. But I also happen to live sort of bordering on some rural. My next door neighbor for a long time had a giant Trump flag. We'll put it that way. I live in that kind of part of a blue state, which is a little anxiety-inducing sometimes. Does not feel terribly safe. But overall things are all right here. But I'm still not doing so great right now, Oh, cute! It has the little plug in the tiny pot that they left behind. That's going to be a pain in the ass to get out. Oh, I'm glad I repotted it. We want that gone. Anyway, but I was out today. I had to run a bunch of errands, which is how I ended up with this. Because, one of them included the grocery store. They have a really good flower department at my local Fred Meyer. I don't know if all Fred Meyers have a flower department that good, but ours is really excellent. And they always have some good orchids, but they sometimes have a little table of rescues. And so that's how I got this. But the first place I stopped while I was out, of course, was the coffee shop. And I have a local one I like to go to. They do fun things. The one I got today was rosemary latte. They make their own syrup for that. You can't buy rosemary syrup at the typical coffee shop supplier. Anyway, really, really good. Good, nice treat. But the barista stamping my loyalty card, and he gave me this kind of look and said, you know, I'm giving you an extra stamp today for the and she kind of gestures at me and says, for the, you know, flag. And today I'm wearing a shirt that has the trans flag on it. Just happened to. I have one that says I'm a grumpy old man in trans colors, because I am older than than most people I know. I'm in my 40s, which is ancient when you're hanging around in queer internet communities, because, and again, that's for a sad reason, isn't it? Because of course a lot of people my age aren't around anymore, because they died of AIDS in the 80s when I was young. I'm a little younger than that, but you know, all these sad things. But this just random barista who looks at my shirt, and the coffee shop didn't have like a sign up. They weren't doing a pride event. This wasn't something sponsored. This wasn't, you know, something that anybody asked her to do. And she just says, you know, for the flag, for you, because of your identity, is, you know, and gave me the stamp. And I sat in the car a little bit at my next stop and was tearing up. I was crying a little. And it's not, you know, I'm not crying because I'm going to get a free cup of coffee a little sooner. Like, it's not the gesture itself. You know, it's not the actual thing accomplished by giving me an extra stamp at the coffee shop is not the point. It's not why I was tearing up in the feedlot parking lot, you know, feed store. It's just that somebody cared, that somebody thought of, you know, what things are like right now for trans folks, and just wanted to do something nice that she could do, even if it was nothing much. It wouldn't make a real difference. No big deal, you know. She wanted to do something. She did what she could. And the fact that she cared enough to do it is what had me crying about it, you know. And that's the thing, and why I'm sharing this with people, because it feels so hopeless right now in the US and a lot of other parts of the world. It feels just living through the stupidest apocalypse. The idiocy still gets me sometimes. But anyway, it just, what can you do? You can't do anything. I can't do anything about the government. I can't do anything about tariffs ruining the businesses of most of the people I know, because I run in art circles. So many of my friends are artists and game devs and people who are just absolutely hosed right now. I mean, can I do anything about that? No, nothing. I cannot help my friends at all. I can't, and most of us can't do anything. I don't have the money. I don't have the time even. I'm not going to protests because I don't have the time, and also I have a kid, so I can't afford to get arrested, because there would be nobody to take care of her if I was, and I just can't do anything. But I can do things like that, you know. I can do little things here and there, now and then. Not much, but something. And little things like that matter a lot, actually. There's some depressing statistics about, you know, things like trans suicide rates and stuff like that. I know this is going so dark, but it's those rates are what they are because of the way people treat trans people. And a lot of the other, you know, mental health issues that are a problem in the world right now are the way they are because of little acts of cruelty that people have to endure every day. You know, microaggressions are real. And the only counter for that is little acts of kindness. Doing small things to feel better yourself, like rescuing an orchid. She's got good roots left. I'm glad. I think she's going to make it. But anyways, little things for yourself to make you feel better. And little things for other people when you can. It doesn't matter how small it is. It doesn't matter how useless it is. Oh boy, you know, I get free coffee one day earlier because I got an extra stamp. That's not the point. So if you think that there's nothing you can do, I want to tell you that there is. It doesn't matter. A smile, a kind word, you know. If she'd just said, "I like your shirt," you know, about the shirt with the trans flag, that would have made my day. I might not have quite gotten to, you know, pulled over crying in the feed store parking lot off that, but you know, small things make a difference. It's so funny. I get this phrase running in my head. It is from small means shall great things come to pass. It's from the Book of Mormon, of all places for me to be thinking about right now. I was raised Mormon. Not anymore. But you know, you don't have to throw out the baby with the bathwater, as it were, just because a lot of things in a philosophy or a religion or a group are terrible doesn't mean everything is. So I'm gonna say that. By small means are great things brought to pass sometimes. And right now the small means is just doing what things we can for each other. Being kind to each other, helping each other in whatever way we can. Even if it's the tiniest, most useless possible thing, it still matters. So yeah, get out there. Do something nice for somebody, you know? It doesn't take much. And you have opportunities to do it every day. Even if you hardly ever leave the house, which I hardly ever leave the house. So, you know, it's what the internet's for. Anyway, I've rambled on enough. And my new girl is in her new cup. Hopefully she will start thriving and doing great for me. I named her Terpsichore. Did I mention that? That's the last muse I got left. And I don't know, the next one I get, I might have to reuse Melpomene since I don't have her anymore. Or I might go to a different naming scheme, switch to something else. Although I like having the Phalaenopsis all be classic muses. Anyway, and I will look forward to seeing what color she is when she blooms. So I've done something nice for her, rescuing her, and hopefully next year, when we get to Phalaenopsis season, she'll do something nice for me. Now, thank you for joining me for this particularly rambly ramble, and I hope it wasn't too depressing. I hope you have a chance to go out and make somebody's day today, even in the tiniest possible way. So I will see you soon, I'm sure. Thanks for joining me. Bye.